Dallas has long had a reputation for technology. I think you could go back to the EDS and Ross Perot days when we first came on the map as really a technology center and not just an oil and gas center. And we continue to make strides in that area because there's just great talent here. And two people who know that very well are Chris Fitzgerald and Shashi Yadiki with Smart Data Solutions. And thank you both for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Why don't we start with you, Shashi, because this is an exciting announcement. The Dallas Center for Engineering and Technology. Tell us about it.
You know, Dallas has got a terrific talent base with the kind of strength in the universities, whether it is University of Texas, Dallas, SMU, or even a little further in Austin, UT Austin. A terrific technology talent, terrific engineering talent, terrific AI talent in the context of today's world. And that's what has been the biggest draw for us in setting up the center here in Dallas.
Absolutely. And Chris, you're the chairman of the UTD Johnson School Executive Council, and you have to be excited about this.
I am. First of all, what's fun is that you get a chance to partner with the university in their researchers, their students. We're doing some capstone projects with them at Smart Data Solutions. So you get access to the talent, the energy, but also the research of what's going on outside of what we're looking at that helps us grow.
Okay, we've got some slides, and we're going to put them up on the screen. I want you guys to kind of walk through it. First of all, this is near the shops at Legacy. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, it's in Plano, and about a couple of minutes from shops at Legacy, right opposite to the old EDS reference that you made.
Yes, absolutely. And it's so clean and sophisticated. Maybe, Chris, talk about the architecture and what the idea was.
We wanted a place that was open, not your traditional concept of offices by the windows and then cubes in the dark. That we wanted things that were open, so the offices are on the inside, everything else is open and light. We wanted a very large social area, so a break room that has candy, coffee, places to sit, collaborate, and again, geared towards driving collaboration innovation. Open ceilings, just very nice and modern, designed for new students and and engineers.
Absolutely, and I think your timing is so perfect because of this AI revolution. I mean, if I was a parent of a teenager right now, I'd say the future is in AI and technology. Forget that degree in 15th century poetry, because this is the place that's going to be hiring. I want to talk about Smart Data Solutions. Let's go ahead and pull up the website and scroll down the website. Shashi, you're the CEO. Tell us what differentiates Smart Data Solutions from others in the space.
So, Jeff, our mission statement, I think it's important. We are committed to healthcare in the truest manner. If you think about healthcare, we spend about $4.5 trillion. The administrative cost of it is about $500 billion. Our mission statement is to make healthcare efficient with AI and automation. And what we do is we're able to look at each of the business processes, right? Decompose those business processes, use large amounts of data, and are able to make decisions in an efficient manner. That's one part of the capability. Second part is we're able to bring in different members of the healthcare ecosystem together and streamline the end-to-end operations. You receive a ton of data which is in silos. That particular siloed data is able to be integrated. We are able to manage it, and we are able to optimize it. Those are the two functions: automate, interoperable. Those are the capabilities that we have which address this mission statement of making healthcare efficient with automation.
And you've really built an international reputation for the speed of your response and the cost. Tell me a favorite client story.
So it's fascinating. We are a very nimble company. Recently, when a lot of the healthcare members, whether it is providers, payers, are impacted with the cyber attack, one of our clients reached out and said, "Look, can you help us?" Right? We were able to step in, and we came on a call, and we said, "Here is a project plan." The clients are used to having a project plan wherein you can implement something in about 3 months or 2 months. We told them we can be able to implement this solution wherein we can receive the claims and transmit them to the payers or the health plans in 2 days to make sure we're supporting them. That was a shocking thing for the leader in the health plan space. And he's like, I don't believe it. I'm nervous. And we stayed on the call full day, showed the plans, tested the entire metrics, showed the test results, and then we said, here is the path for go live. And by the end of second day, he said, this is so surprising and contrary to what people come and say. It takes about 2 months to implement new technology solutions.
Wow.
And that's what differentiates us, wherein a bunch of engineers and technology people that are able to disrupt the perceptions in the market about what it takes to go live, especially in the critical conditions.
Sure.
That's one of them.
Chris, I want you to come back into this conversation, and we've got some video from our library of hacking. When people target hospital systems, it's a matter of life and death. And so the ransomware attacks that we hear on the news is really just a fraction of the ones that are actually going on.
That's correct. And I think, a lot of us were affected by the ransomware attack recently in healthcare because the ability for us to get a prescription from our doctor and go to the pharmacy to pick it up, you couldn't transmit it to the pharmacist, so you had to go pick it up physically and drive to your pharmacist. Then when you got there, they couldn't authorize it because they couldn't get to the actual insurance company. We saw that real life. And the ability for us to take that and replace that pathway for our customers, as Shashi said, in a couple of days, was instrumental to it. And part of that's important, though, is it's not just to be able to do that, but how do you use things like AI automation to watch out for those attacks so that you are constantly being aware of what they might try and do. AI has been that phenomenal accelerator of work, but also it's an accelerator of the nefarious agents to come after us because they're using it as much as we are or more. So we have to use it even more to protect ourselves from them.
Sure. And Shashi, you kind of alluded to it, that you're a small enough company that you're nimble. It's a decent sized company, but some of these really big Fortune 500 companies cannot do what you do.
Yeah, I'll tell you another story, Jeff. I think so. We are working with this large, Fortune 100 company, and we have the solution using AI, able to optimize the entire administrative processes. Let's say which uses documents, right? And we presented a solution, and it included, here is the price point. We are using only technology and not people. They were surprised that the cost structure that we had put in place will not be viable for us. And I said, look, we love the technology, we love the architecture, but we are not sure that you are able to be sustaining with the price point you said, but we will test you out with 1/5 of the solution, the scope of work.
Yes.
And we got started. They said, look, we love the technology, we get started, but I won't give you the entire business. We said, it's fine, we'll prove it to you. We were able to do it faster, cheaper, and also improved their own architecture because they were integrating with us. And now they're able to say, look, we are able to transition the entire volumes to us. So that's how we operate.
Well, I can see why you're so successful. Let's talk about the buzzword of the decade, AI. Now, you guys knew about AI for a long time. It came on my radar screen when ChatGPT came along, and suddenly everybody needs to get in that game. What do you, as you look into your crystal ball, and we've got some video from our library of AI, what do you see happening in the next few years with AI?
So a couple of things. If you think about it, the first thing to understand is that AI, I use the phrase augmented intelligence versus artificial, is really an accelerator of what humans do. Okay? What happened when ChatGPT or large language models came into play is all of a sudden AI could understand our language better and became much more relevant and could talk like us, which meant all of a sudden things like call centers could become literally a thing of the past. The ability to read massive amounts of documents and quickly interpret what they are and find the nuggets means that medical record analysis, which might have taken days or weeks before, now takes minutes. So what it's done is taken these very before thought of complex things and culled them down to a thing a person can act upon very quickly. The challenge to it is, how do you make sure it's accurate? How do you give traceability to it? Okay, and make sure it hasn't opened up some kind of back door, because you have to investigate what it did. But it is really a speed accelerator for us.
Sure. Shashi, let's talk about how quickly things are moving along. I mean, I think about, we were all wowed when we saw the original iPhone. Now, if we held the original iPhone, it would look prehistoric. In fact, my kids, they have to have the very latest iPhone. With AI, it seems like it's constantly changing. How is Smart Data Solutions harnessing the power of AI for their customers?
So we are at the forefront of adopting AI, and not just with ChatGPT, much, much long ago. So if you think about the scope of work I talked about, wherein we are going to make healthcare efficient, each of those processes use ton of unstructured data. So when I say unstructured data, Jeff, like a paper that you have in front of you,
sure.
Right? It is, you have written some information about a person. And typically, if somebody has to read it, there has to be a human who looks at it and then synthesizes that information and is able to interpret it and make decisions on top of it. That entire process can be done using AI. And when I say AI, it's a combination of deep learning. It is a combination of all the models that we can adopt, right? Latest ones, right?
Sure.
It is a combination of RPA, wherein you want to go and make those specific tasks. So AI, in my view, is a combination of, I'm again referring to what Chris mentioned, augmented intelligence. Augmented intelligence wherein you are able to synthesize the data, make the people to be more effective, right? If the person can be enabled with decision-making, with recommendations, right? We do that, okay? We see a path by which the entire administrative processes can be optimized to an extent of about 30 to 40% right out of the gate. Now, one thing that we are careful about is to train the models at a level of accuracy to the tune of 95% or much above, so that we don't go have a model trained at 80% efficiency and say, we'll test it out. No, we go to 95 and above and make sure that model is always watched and then put into production, right? So that's how we see the adoption of AI. We also see the need to secure this data along with traceability. So none of the data that we have is put in the cloud or like the way ChatGPT does, right? We are adopting what we call as language learning models, which are secure with all the high trust security constraints, and make sure that there isn't an exposure to put this data in the public domain.
Outstanding. We're almost out of time. So, Chris, I'm going to give you the final word, and I want you to brag about the dignitaries that will be coming to the event here in a couple weeks.
No, thank you. So, on May the 1st, I'll have our grand opening. We have the mayor of Plano and some of his leadership team. We have Dean Adams, along with Rod Research, some of the teachers over there, along with students. The best dignitaries are the students. We have about 15 students who are doing capstone projects. They will be there. All of our leadership team will be there from Smart Data Solutions. We have other community leaders who are on the council with me at UTD, business leaders. Hopefully you, Jeff, will be there also.
Absolutely, I wouldn't miss it.
But I think the key thing is, and also some of our key customers, but the idea is really a bit of celebration to get started, but really focused on the students and the work we're doing with UTD, because that's why we're here.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both for the time, and congratulations on your success. I can't wait for the grand opening. We're going to end with the website, which is sdata.us. Guys, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.